I received a letter today addressing issues, complaints that I made quite a while back now, but they've only just sent a response. It's basically 3 pages, and it's just a list of excuses really for their actions. It's from the Department for Work and Pensions Complaints Resolution Team, and there's a nice little paragraph for each excuse there, and it goes on to the next page as well. The first section, we have received information from Folkestone Jobcentre concerning your allegation that you were refused bus fares and that managers are never available. Allegation, yeah, well I have recordings of it in video form. Your work coach would have offered to reimburse travel costs to the jobs fair, but as you did not attend, this would not have been appropriate. Okay, so I have footage of me walking to the jobs fair. I have footage of me walking around and attending the jobs fair. I have footage of me leaving the jobs fair and then walking to the job centre because they gave me an appointment literally 5 minutes after the jobs fair. So, you know, how can you do both at once? How can you be in 2 places at once? So I walked to the job centre, I went to the interview there, and then I discussed in the interview about the jobs fair that I just attended, and the lady said, well, she just spoke about it and said very good. But here it says, but as you did not attend this, would not have been appropriate. They're saying I didn't attend the jobs fair. Your work coach is adamant that you had requested to see a manager. Okay, so this is discussing I made a point to say that I asked to see a manager, and the lady said, the jobs coach said to me, there are no managers in the building. There are no managers, you know, you can't do that. But what they've put is your work coach is adamant that you requested to see a manager. They would have requested a contact number from you and passed your details onto a manager to telephone you and arrange an appointment were they unable to resolve your query during the call. Okay, so your work coach is adamant. Okay, if she's adamant, then why can't she complete the rest of the sentence? Because then it suddenly goes on to hearsay. It says your work coach is adamant that you had requested to see a manager. They would have requested a contact number. Or did she or didn't she? I'll tell you what actually happened. She said there are no managers in the building. Would have requested a contact number. They have my contact numbers. They have a mobile and they have a landline and they have the address and they have a national insurance number. Okay, so this one mentions the Romney Resource Centre. On the 7th of August, you failed to attend a mandatory appointment with the Romney Resource Centre, a work programme provider. Your non-attendance resulted in a 4-week sanction being applied for the period of 1st of August to 28th of August. You were issued with a form on which to provide the reason for not attending, but this was not returned. Therefore, the adverse decision remained in place. Okay, so that's not true. I was not given any paper to take away or fill out. I was not told I had to do that. I'm not really sure what that paper would be. I assume they mean an appeal or something. I don't know. I wasn't given a paper. I wasn't even, they didn't even discuss any of the circumstances because I only found out by accident. They had stopped putting the money in and I went into the Romney Resource Centre to do other things like courses and things, and they would quite happily to see me, but they never once said, oh, by the way, we stopped your money, or you need to fill this form out, or they didn't send me a form or even give it to me since I was present and went into the office. They didn't hand it to me. So no, there was no paper given to me, there was no form given to me. On top of that, they should have withheld the application of requirements. In other words, having to attend the job centre, having to attend 2-hour journeys to go to community service, having to sign on every single day, and also just basically messing me about with regards to benefits, not putting them in. These things should have been resolved, and the requirements should have been nullified because of an ill family member, of what would have been a very difficult situation, a temporary circumstance, resulting in a bereavement. So they didn't. In this letter, she said, "We need to address the issues raised further before we could investigate and ultimately answer your complaint." So they're dodging that one. When you advised that your work ended on 6th of November, this was not removed from your claim, and for this I apologise. As a result, when you made a new claim on the 21st of January and did not declare that you had finished a job within the last 6 months, the part-time work remained on your record. They're saying I did not tell them I ended work. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll just sign on and say I'm working. Yeah, I'm working. No, of course I declared that I wasn't working. Why would I be going to the job centre? I mean, what would I be benefiting? It doesn't even make sense. I was getting less money when I was working because it was just a top-up. They were only giving me like £20, the job centre. It was a top-up to the wages, so why would I not declare it? What, I just want £20? Oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to lie about working. Does not make sense. I did declare that I had finished working several times. I have recordings of it.